package I have something that is the most relevant for my channel ever. This is an accessible petticoat made by Puvithel. Let's discover that. It is big. So over the years I have been collecting so many petticoats, and you have seen me trying them and comparing them and everything. So I've become a bit of a petticoat expert, and so Puvi told me 3 years ago, something like that, that she was starting to work on that. And you also know that everybody can be kawaii is something so important for me. So for me it's so important that fashion is accessible for everybody, and the petticoat is the one thing that is the most important for the silhouette of Lolita fashion, and it was not really accessible until now. Now Puvi made it for you. So let's get through all the super cool features, and then we will have her come and explain why she started it, everything that's going on for this sale of this petticoat. It's actually a Kickstarter campaign, and we will learn everything that there is to know about through the interview. So it has a super cool tag that says Puvithel and blush and hand wash. Machine wash called hang dry or dry on low permanent press or hand wash. One of the very interesting thing is this adjustable drawstring. You can adjust the actual size of the length, and also it's still an elastic. What is actually going to be the quantity of fabric that is going to be around you. And they made this petticoat to be between waist 28 inches to 44 inches, which is 71 centimeters to 111 centimeters. So with just that, you can be super thin or really plus size and have the same petticoat. So it's technically possible to go also bigger, but then you'll have a gap when you close the fabric. So this petticoat is not only accessible, it's also plus size friendly. It does have 18 yards of custom lace, and it's just not tiny lace, it's gorgeous Puvithel specialized logo lace all around it, because you can also use it as an overskirt or wear it just as is, because it's gorgeous. And mine is pink, but if you look on the petticoat page, of course there will be a link in the description. There's other color options, there's even the rainbow options. Oh my god, it's so pretty. And it has 2 tiered layers of organza. So this is one, the one that has on top the lace, and 2, and then you have the waistband here, and then 3 tiers to each. So that helps give the big poof. So even if you do not need the accessibility for medical reason, just having your petticoat not touch the ground when you wear it is also something good, because you never know what the ground is like. So this tie method instead of just an elastic is useful for waist fluctuations, mobility or flexibility issues, chronic pain, and sensory issues with the elastic. So what is good is that you can tie it where you want. You can turn it to tie it in front of you if it's easier. For example, at the moment with my broken shoulder, I cannot go in the back and tie stuff in the back. It's difficult for me. And then you can turn it to, for example, if it's open in the back, you can sit on your chair or even your wheelchair, and you do not have to sit on the petticoat if you do not want to. And you can tie it on the side if you need something open to do injections, or if you have medical accessories that needs to be reached, you can have that open on the side. And also for pregnant people, it might be easier to adjust where it opens. It could be in the front, I don't know, maybe. So Puvi designed it specifically because of her back problem, but this is open to many different accessibility issues, and I love that. So you know me, I want to know the science stuff. So let's wear this petticoat with different dresses and compare how it looks. So this is how your petticoat looks like when you receive it. So let's see how it compares to my waist. So like that, it's a little bit too big if I close it. So let's try and make it a little bit tighter with the drawstring here. Okay, now I need to use a little bit of the elastic, which is good because if you are to exactly your waist size, then the petticoat will slide. So then you tie the knot. In my case, for example, I just broke my arm, and so I might have difficulty really going back in my back, so being able to do it in the front is very good. And then I can turn it, and I see that it's still a little bit loose because the petticoat itself is very heavy, so I'm going to tie it a little bit more. Maybe it's easier to make the knot first, and then you can adjust it with this later, and then you can just leave it like that whenever. And if you think it's a little bit too tight, you can just adjust it. Okay, first of all, the thing that I notice is that it's very clever the way to adjust your size for you, but that means that actually the only thing that is holding the petticoat is this tiny thread and not the whole super wide waist. But now the fact that actually it opens, and the fact that you can put the opening where you want, or if you want to sit like that and open it, or even you can tie that a lot more and make the whole back open actually, so you can sit in a wheelchair and not sit on your petticoat to be more comfortable, for example. And this is so nice. This fabric is so soft. There is no lining, but this is so soft against your skin. There is no issue. And look at this gorgeous lace. Oh my god. Do you know how much lace like that costs? I do dresses myself. This is so expensive, you have no idea, guys. Yes, Puvithel did not go cheap on this petticoat. This justifies the high price of this petticoat by the sheer amount of lace itself, and it's gorgeous. Today I have an amazing guest here. It's Puvithel.
Hi everyone, I'm Puvi. I run the brand Puvithel. I've been designing for almost 10 years, and I'm launching a Kickstarter for these accessible petticoats. What you may not know about me is I suffer from chronic pain. I've suffered from it all my life, but in 2019, it got really bad all of a sudden. I suddenly could not wear like almost any of the clothing that I had. And that was very devastating to me because, like many of you, I've spent a very long time curating my wardrobe. So in that time period, one of the things that really bothered me was petticoats. I could not wear the elastic on the petticoats. The elastic waistband would just aggravate my back. And because of that, I've had like a fear of wearing my petticoats, wearing my fancier outfits, because I don't know if just because it feels okay on me when I put it on doesn't mean it's necessarily going to feel okay on me for the whole 6-hour meet, and then I'm stranded out there with something I can't wear. So I've been kind of living in this fear of wearing outfits. I'm sure other people who have disability or chronic pain issues probably have these same thoughts when they're planning out their outfits and planning out their day. And I decided, okay, I'm a designer. Surely I can do something about this so that I can wear my outfits again. So I was on TikTok. I saw another artist who goes by Ambi Doll. She had made herself an A-line tie-on petticoat, and I thought, that's the solution to my problem. And I reached out with her and I talked to her and I told her, hey, I'm an indie designer. Are you okay if I take inspiration from your tie-ons? She didn't want to start selling her own and make a version for Lolita. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And she was actually very nice, very helpful, and told me even her process for how she made it, though we did end up going with something very different based on just what the shape for the Lolita is and a couple of other features I wanted. But yeah, so from that moment, I think that was a couple years ago now, maybe a little bit longer, I've been working on this design. There are a bunch of stretch goals for more colors. And then I also want to make additional accessible items like wrist cuffs, bloomers, and blouses to address some other problems I've seen. Those may end up being future Kickstarters or something else, but I have put them as stretch goals just in case we go wildly out of control, and then maybe we get everything, all the accessible things made at once.
So if you want to support this Kickstarter, You'll find obviously the link in the description. The Kickstarter runs until June 24th. So when this video released, you have some time to do it. And there's many new things that can be unlocked, like other colorways or other accessible items. So far, the accessible wrist cuffs have been unlocked. So I'm really looking forward to that. They will have a snap instead of an elastic. Puvithel herself will actually donate 5 petticoats for people who are in need but cannot afford it, and people can actually decide to donate a petticoat to the pool of donation. And if you actually need a petticoat but you cannot afford it, you can look in the Kickstarter project for the link to apply to receive one of them. And again, I'm so excited that Puvithel is making this accessible petticoat project, and if you want to support it without buying a petticoat, you can also just support by getting some stationery sets or the cuffs or a tote bag or something like that. So check out the description for the link to the Kickstarter, and remember, everybody can be kawaii. Bye!